only $5.
The next guy coming up, he's been a very good friend of mine for a while. This one time we got drunk as shit, and he's like, dude, I bet I could pin you. Because he wrestled for a while, and he's like a wrestler and everything. I was like, that's not gonna happen, I'm sorry. I weigh a half ton, you're just a dude. He's like, no, let's go out back, I'll bet $50 I can fucking pin you. I was like, fuck it, I'll make it $50. So I went out there and we were drinking and everything. And I was like, he's like, yeah, I'm about to pin you, where'd he go? I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go, let's do this. And then Jan said start, and I went like that. And I was just on my back like, what the fuck just happened? I lost $50. This guy's a dick, but I love him to death. Everybody, put your hands together for your headliner of New Brooklyn Tavern, Mr. Zack Kennedy!
Oh, thanks. Give it up for all the comics who went up tonight. Give it up for your host, Joe. And give it up for yourselves. You guys stuck it out. You're here at the very end. I appreciate it. All the comics appreciate it. Wow. Thank you, guys. My name is Zach. I dated this girl for about 4 years. And we broke up, which was a good thing because we started talking about marriage a lot. But the only reason we were talking about marriage is because my grandma kept bringing it up to me. She'd always just be like, you guys have been dating for a while. Aren't you guys thinking about getting married? And I always have to be like, whoa, Grandma, whoa. We haven't even had kids yet. We live in the South. We have an order to things. My grandma hates that joke. I'd always have to follow it up and be like, don't worry, Grandma, you have to have sex to have kids. Because the last year we dated, we only had sex about 28 times. For those of you who are bad at math, that's about twice a month or one really awesome February. And it wasn't February. But looking back, like, it's such a good thing, like, that we didn't have kids, because kids terrify me. Like, kids are horrifying. Like, I don't like some adults. Like, if you don't like an adult, you just don't associate yourself with that adult anymore. Like, if you have a shitty kid, you can't just be like, fuck you, Walter. I'm not putting up with this anymore. You can't do that to a kid. If, like, I'm just saying, if I was really a parent, I would definitely have a leash kid. That's what I'm trying to say. Not like a at the state fair kind of leash kid. I'm like every day of his fucking life. I would drop him off at school, leash in hand. He'd have the body harness on, you know what I'm talking about? I'd just walk him to the door and be like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're gonna have a good day. I promise you're gonna have a good day. And then I'd unhook him and send him off and be like, you ain't getting no pussy today. Good luck getting drugs with that shit on, cocksucker. Way more afraid of having a girl, though. Having a little girl. Because I would do the same thing, but I always have the fear that I'm going to start some weird bondage fetish in, like, elementary school. I don't want to be the cause of that. But yeah. Me and that girl broke up, and I changed my whole life around. Like, I quit the job that I had. I started doing other stuff. I started working for a company called Kirby. Anybody heard of Kirby before?
Hell yeah!
Yeah. They sell a $3,000 vacuum cleaner. That's not the joke. What happens is they give you this very specific door pitch. You're supposed to go up, knock on the door, you say these things, and you get in people's houses, and it worked. And it shocked the shit out of me. It goes like this. Hey, my name's Zach. We're handing these coupons out. It's good for one free room of carpet cleaning. We're using a product called Dry Foam. Only takes 15 minutes for it to dry, and you can walk on it as soon as we're done. You guys do have carpet, right? Which area would you say gets the most traffic? Can I take a look at it? And you just look down, wipe your feet, and point, and you'd walk in people's houses. They'd be like, okay. And that worked, so I decided to adopt that as a pickup line with a few edits. I'd go up to girls at the bar and I'd be like, hey, my name's Zach, I'm good for one free drink. We're using a product called Dick. It only takes 15 minutes. You do have carpet, right? Does it get a lot of traffic? Can I take a look? And then I wipe my feet and just hope. And it worked! It was so crazy. I started dating a girl right after that, and she said silly shit to me all the time, not gonna lie. The first silly thing she ever said to me is golden, I'll never forget it. She goes, I can smell where people have masturbated. And I just looked at her and I was like, that's the worst superpower ever. I was like, that's gotta be horrible. Like the first time some guy like brings you home, like he opens the door, she walks in, she's like, everywhere! That's not good. That's not good. I always feel really weird introducing her to my male friends. I'm like, hey, this is Wayne. And she's like, I'm not shaking that hand. like the only time that would be like a good thing to have is if she worked for like CSI SVU and like they were in someone's house and they're like, we can't find any DNA. And then she'd come in and she'd be like, it's under the fridge. And they'd be like, what? Well, he started on the couch. He got up, stepped on a Lego, hopped 3 times, and then fell, and then under the fridge. Also, I brought bagels, because she's Jewish. You guys didn't need to know that. It's not an important part of the joke. It's just something she would do. Anybody ever dated somebody who talks a lot?
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody dated someone who talks a lot, talks too much to the cops?
Yes.
Yeah, that's way worse. I remember I was on my way home one night from a comedy show, and we were going down the road, and I was swerving a little bit. I had a few drinks, not gonna lie. I saw the blue lights come up behind me. I was like, I know I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna tell him I was texting. I'm gonna tell him I'm an asshole. I was texting, wasn't paying attention to the road. So I pull over, and he comes to my door, and he goes, hey, how are you doing tonight? I was like, I'm okay. Seems to be the problem. And he goes, well, you swerved a little bit. I'm ready for it. I'm like, I'm gonna tell him I was texting. And right before the words could come out of my mouth, my girlfriend at the time, she just goes, it's all my fault. It's all me. We were in an argument. It's my fault. He was swerving. She said it with like conviction, like I regularly beat her. Like the whole reason I was swerving is because I was trying to accidentally slam her face against the window. And I'm looking at the cop the whole time. And then I look at her and be like, really? And then I look back at her, look back at the cop, and he's like, sir, can you please step out of the car? And I was like, that's fair. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. My name's Zack Kennedy. Do I do the JoJo now?